Hey, what's up guys? So we are going to be going over an older card, and I think it's got some potential, perhaps in the meta. It's called Karma Cut. It's a trap card, just regular. I wish it was one of those counter ones, but anyways, you discard one card, remove from play one face-up monster your opponent controls. If there is cards in your opponent's graveyard with the same name as the removed monster, also remove from play that cards. Or though it should say those cards. But anyways, what you can technically do. I mean, let's say you're playing against Dark World. Oh, you know, I'm going to banish all your Grapha. Hey, that's a pretty good effect. I mean, unless they're playing Trance Archfiend, yeah, you've pretty much like locked the Dark World player out of like anything. And even against Animal Dragons, you can shut down one element, which isn't bad because, you know, this still disrupts their play. I mean, you can still look at this card as a neg-1 because, I mean, there's cards like Compulse, which are, you know, very good against Animal Dragons once they go for the Exceed plays, and you just bounce the Exceed right back to their extra deck. But with Karma Cut, it banishes all of them. So, I mean, the whole XYZ thing doesn't really matter. I mean, banishing the XYZ doesn't really affect them. But if you can banish perhaps one of the Elemental Dragons, I'm sure that some of the Elemental Dragons do get effects when you banish them, but if you can hit like 3 of them, you know, they already have... You know, they went through all of their blasters. Blaster always gets like used really fast. He's the fire one, and they always start for that one just because like they want it depending on the deck that they're playing against. But that said, if you can Karma Cut and you can hit a blaster and they have multiple blasters in the graveyard, you just be like, oh, no more blasters for you. So, I don't know. I think that's a pretty good option. I'm not sure if it would be that viable against E-Dragons, but, you know, because there's so many things that E-Dragons just don't care about. But at least gets rid of one element, if you can look at it in that aspect. Another thing I wanted to mention, though, if you're playing against Spellbooks, perhaps, even though, I mean, technically there's not very many High Priestesses that hit the grave, but if they summon High Priestess and you activate, let's say, Bottomless Trap Hole, and of course they're going to activate that card where it's unaffected by spell and trap cards, but you can chain Karma Cut to their activation of Spellbook of Wisdom, and therefore you can banish the High Priestess, and then once they lost their High Priestess, they've pretty much lost their win condition. I know that technically if they have library and they have 30 counters on, you know, multiple libraries, then yeah, but generally there's a lot of decks. I would say against Dark World it's probably the best because there's always multiple Graphas in the graveyard, so I think this card definitely has some potential in the game. Also, Fire King Karunix, you can banish that card. That's still a good play just to banish any, you know, card that you don't like. Maybe Machina Fortress, maybe there's another one in the grave. Hey, banish more Fortress, and then banish all the rest in the graveyard. I think this card is kind of an overlooked card. I think it's got some potential. I really feel like Breakthrough Skill is probably one of the best cards, like, you know, the trap card that is going to be seeing a lot more play in the future, but I still think Karma Cut is a pretty cool card, and I like the artwork on it, and it actually comes in Ultimate Rare. But that said, I think this card definitely has some potential against some of the decks. Like I said, as far as the meta decks, Fire Kings, I mean, even, I was going to say Fire Fists, but generally with Fire Fist, it's just thank you bear pop, and then, you know, like banishing the bear is not going to really hurt them too much. I mean, it gets rid of the bear, but you're going to have to go -1 in that aspect. You might as well have ran like, I don't know, Regeki Breaker or something would pretty much do the same thing, but at least it banishes it so they have less cards in the graveyard. And whenever my opponent has less cards in the graveyard, that means I'm winning. But yeah, I still think it's definitely a great card because it just banishes the card, and it ruins a lot of Exceed plays too. But, you know, oh, also, I wanted to mention this, because of that Blue-Eye Maiden, you know, that structure deck that's coming out, yeah, if they happen to have, you know, maybe they trade into Blue Eyes, and then they finally get out their Blue Eyes, and then you just banish all their Blue Eyes, and now all their Maidens are completely useless. So, like I said, I feel like this card's got some potential in the future. Even right now, it's an okay card against Dark Worlds, like I mentioned before. But yeah, if you guys know any other decks that could lose to Karma Cut, let me know in the comment section below, because, like I said, I really feel like this card has some potential, and I love talking about these cards that people don't use, and, you know, that have some potential. Maybe, you know, get some ultimate rare ones, and, you know, the price will go up for these. But thanks for watching. Asian Ice, signing out.